9.
Hey.
All right. Hey,
you look like a guy I know.
Look at that. The blue is rocking today.
We're rocking the blue today.
I know it. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me hit this chat. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So I got chat. All right. So hopefully who's ever on here, we've got about 2 minutes to go. We're just checking to see if people can hear us. And if you can hear us, just say so and let us know where you're from.
Am I supposed to engage my chat also?
Well, you can. Yeah.
Let's
I
see.
mean,
It does it. Open up, breaking something. There it is. I see them now. It could be.
Okay.
Oh, I maybe had to engage it on all those settings. I hate starting to push buttons.
There we go.
Dangerous
Klaus.
for me.
Oh, from Santa Fe. I have never been to Santa Fe. Right?
And there's Jeff Cross. Holy mackerel. Look at everybody.
Right, Steve, you're in too much blue. Wow.
Harry,
What do you think about that?
I'm on and can sadly hear you. Do we call them friends?
Yeah, Barry's supposed to be working on his new WRT program so we can get it online.
Yeah.
All right. Love just seeing all the towns. Indiana, there we go.
Why?
There we go. Angela from Referral. Done lots of work with those people. All right. Mm-hmm. Colorado, Bel Air, Maryland. Wow, I did a couple of classes in Bel Air this past year.
Yeah.
Out there for Rainbow, Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, look at that. McKinney, Texas. Richard. All right.
New York. Hope you're all doing well there, too. I've had.
Howdy, boys. There's Amy. All right.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Yeah.
Blue, blue, blue.
Yeah.
What's the song?
Well, Amy doesn't have much to do. What the? Barry, please don't sing. You had your opportunity and you didn't take it. All right. Let's see. I've got 2 o'clock. All right. So I see we have a lot of people in there. Morning from Australia. It's got to be really early in Australia.
Yeah, that's
Jim Nelson from Dallas. Larry. All right. Indie man living life in St. Louis. Okay. All righty. Well, I'll tell you what, it's 2 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and get started here because I know, as we have the last several weeks here, that we'll probably run over our time. I don't think I have to pay for the time, but it does seem like I go over every time, and that's because I got exciting guests, and nobody is more exciting than my guest today, Mark Saiger. All right. Yep. Got that official sign. I want everybody to notice that we both have new signs. Unfortunately, Mark's was all ready to be used at the JonDon National Sales Meeting, which was supposed to be held this week. All right. Yeah. Needless to say, it didn't get held, just like all of us. We're kind of quarantined, just like all of you. Yep. So they sent me this very cool JonDon sign that I got right behind me, just in case you forget who we are. Right. That's right. Mark, before I introduce you, I just want a couple things I want to mention is that we got a whole bunch of questions again. I mean, questions. I've got questions, right? And lots of them we've already covered, but I've got one in here that's kind of interesting. And it says, with all due respect, with an unprecedented situation like this, what positions you to know where this is going? Then he says, it sounded a lot harsher than I meant it. Hopefully someone can convey the general idea. So I will tell you why. And, this is our, I think, 6th or 7th, I can't even remember now, interview. And each of our people that we've had on here, I think, have been people that are leaders within our industry. We've had a lot of great people, going to have even more great people coming up after this. And I think what we're really doing is because we're in a position where we have a lot of connections throughout the industry, because we spend a lot of times listening to podcasts, going to webinars. I mean, we spend all our time just trying to find out what's going on. And needless to say, we don't have all the answers, but what we're trying to do is really curate the best information from the good sources. I mean, we love to get it from the people that got all those initials behind their name. So I think that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to help everybody the best we can. We also learn a lot from you. We learn a lot from you on the questions that you send in to us. So we will have probably most of the questions that have been on here. I will have, I've already talked to Mark. We've shared the questions on these, and we've tried to incorporate most of those into the interview today. Now, the other thing is that some of the questions keep coming back to the same things about what product to use, where, what is the best product. We can't answer those. We can't answer questions on pricing. We're always, when you start talking about PPE and the different things there, we're going to talk to you about the fact of where you get the information about how to wear it, what to wear. One of the questions we had also had to do with now that everybody's going to get back to work here. Notice it's still a lot of it's coming from China, or the raw ingredients come from China. Once it does get to this country, a lot of it's being taken by the government and provided to the hospitals, healthcare workers, which is where it should go. Hopefully we will have, within a couple weeks, we hope to be as good a shape on PPE as we are on all of the disinfecting products. So I'll just break it off with that and start to introduce my guest here, which is Mark Saiger. Many of you know him from his YouTube videos. Many of you know him from the Ronald McDonald houses. And many of you know him because the man spends about 24 hours on social media. And so Mark's family goes back over a half century into the cleaning business. I'm not going to go deep into that. I'll let Mark talk to you a little bit more about that. He's been in all different fields. He's been a snowmobile racer. He's been a band leader for a couple decades, you know, and he seems to like just love big challenges. And so part of his challenge, and what we'll be talking about at the end of the program today, is basically how he jumped into the chemistry aspect of the whole business, which is the Saiger sauce, which is that beautiful display he's got right behind there. So Mark, tell me about Uncle Merle and how all this started.
Well, thank you. Number of years ago, Uncle Merle from Merle's Steam Clean. So Saiger Steam Clean was a takeoff from there. So nothing super creative, but everyone knew Uncle Merle in Grand Forks, North Dakota. And he was owned a standard station, and he was a mechanic. You know, we come from farming background prior to that. So Uncle Merle, some guy owed him some money and had a carpet cleaning machine. And Uncle Merle says, I'll take that in exchange. Next thing we know, Uncle Merle's out cleaning carpets. And then we even ended up buying the factory part that was making these big coffee kettle stainless steel machines. And so we were cleaning carpets 54 years ago.
That's pretty amazing. So you didn't jump right into cleaning though. You had a couple of detours, I guess you would say.
Yeah, you know, I am older than 53, so I've been around it. My knees feel like they're 68, you know, but yeah. No, so yeah, I've been around it all my life, but I was also around music all my life, as my dad was a band director and a carpet cleaner. And of course I said I wouldn't be like my dad. And so my dad wins. He's in his 80s now, young 80s. And so, yeah, I've been around the industry. And so with the musician, carpet cleaning was how I earned my way through college. Yeah. Dad said, here's your machine. Here's your way you're going to earn your way through college as a music major. And then I came out with a business started over there. My brother Kirk is still running. And ended up over in Grand Rapids, Minnesota, not Michigan, Minnesota. And I ended up student teaching, was going to just clean carpets, but I finished up my education degree just so I said I'd have it. And I got offered a band directing job, and I said, oh, what the heck, I'll try it for a little while. A little while turned into 25 years, as well as doing some carpet cleaning on the side, and then got really serious as I got married to my wife, who also had 3 lovely daughters. A couple of them are truck drivers, I say, but no, they're awesome. So we ended up, you know, I got married to have a little extra income like we sometimes do. The next thing I knew is the thing took off like crazy. And at some point in 2008, I'd started this business now in like 2008, I handed my keys after graduation and said, lock up when you're done. And I headed out carpet cleaning. So I was close to finishing my education degree, and you know, me, I'm so OCD. It's like, hey, squirrel, I'm going to go do that. So,
well, we're kind of glad you did. Let me ask you, Mark. Today is the last day of April, right? And let's go back to the first day of April. No fools, right? But what was happening the first day of April in your carpet cleaning business?
Oh man, you know, I came back from Saiger South, as we call it, down from Florida, my winter place and winter testing area, and we got back, and it was quite concerning. A business came to a screeching halt. I've never laid my people off, and we're a lot of family, but we do have, you know, some other people who are not family working for us. I had to lay them off, first time ever. I thought at that point, we're done. I think I even talked to you. I was like, I'm ready. All hands on deck, and we're booked out 2.5, 3 weeks right now, and going, where do we put them?
And I think you told me also that you're heading out as soon as you're done with this. What are you going to do this afternoon?
Well, I'm going to be done with my Harvard and Simonized job, and I'm going to go out and clean carpets with Saigers, and I can get some videos made, But yeah, I'm going to go. We have people moving in and purchasing homes and moving. So, and the guys are out doing a resort right now, which is wall to wall in all these cabins and going crazy. And so I'm taking the night shift, you could say, just like the old days.
Yeah. So you talking to a lot of people? I know you talked to a couple of guys this morning on that, and I've talked to a lot. And it seems like all of a sudden we're getting the phones they're jumping right now. Is that what you're experiencing?
Yeah, in our area, and I talked to a number of there, like Pennsylvania. I started getting calls. I've had calls from Indiana today, Illinois, Iowa, also in Minnesota. I've networked with some other cleaning friends. They're not as busy as us yet, but like today, the governor is going to talk about the next plan for Minnesota going ahead. So even on like the stay-at-home request. We were essential here. So we weren't doing as many residential, but people were still comfortable having us come in. And part of it is, of course, I'm adamant about keeping our equipment looking good, keeping it clean too. But yeah, so it took off. I mean, it just exploded. Honestly, if the phone rings, my wife says, is it okay if I jump across and go in and answer that phone? I'm like, yes, please. So,
so Mark, the people that are calling in now, are they more new customers, or are these your old customers that you've had for years?
We've got both. We've got a variety of both. So that's an interesting part. There's a confidence in us to come in and do the job for them, and we don't take that lightly. So we're making sure we're healthy, they're healthy, we're safe, following what protocols we're setting in standard for ourselves and for our clients. So yeah, we have both. And so word is getting around, we're cleaning, and they're comfortable with having us there.
Okay. So what, are you getting any of them that are nervous and talking to you about disinfecting and the virus and that?
Our position here, we are in the state of Minnesota, you have to be a licensed pesticide applicator to apply any antimicrobials or anything that could kill. So we quit doing restoration about 2011. So we don't have that. We don't carry that. But the thing in my investigation too is with the current virus situation, we see soap and water, how it'll break it down. Just cleaning, keeping a clean environment. So I've been saying clean is clean, and clean will help prevent disease. So we haven't been trying to heighten like another pandemic here. We're keeping it simple, sane. My presence online in Facebook and everything, just trying to keep everything positive. So I just call friends like you when I want to explode or something and tell the concerns. And I realistically, we're trying to keep this positive manner to keep some calmness, even amongst others. And I feel that has helped us.
Okay. So now, of course, we're looking at Grand Rapids, Minnesota, right? Not New York City, which of course is going to be different. So for some of the people that are on screen here and listening to us right now, they may have a totally different environment, and and it's going to have to be different. But right now, you're not talking about disinfectants, you're not talking about sanitizers, you're talking clean, right? So and of course, these are a lot of previous customers who believe you and trust you, and that's the ultimate thing you can have going for you. How do you believe you built up this trust? In other words, when they see the Saiger truck pull up, all right? What's a Saiger truck look like now? I mean, other than the color, we know the blue. Right?
Loud and blue.
But I mean, you don't exactly have all paved roads up by you, so right? So how do you keep those trucks looking good?
We wash them off every day, and we bring them in, we put them in the shop. Even in wintertime, it's 20, 30 below zero out. We're outside washing them off. We really are with the units themselves. So we try to keep them clean and show up. We have some places where we're seriously like mudding into their place, tearing up their driveway. That's the way the frost goes out. And we've had to get to an exit, then we'll pull over and we'll rinse off our truck sometimes. Our biggest thing is bringing hoses in at times too. We try to keep them clean, to rinse off. Extra set of hoses at times in the back too for our environment. So we plan for our environment. Wintertime, the snow comes in like an abominable snowman on those hoses, and
I've seen that.
Wiping it out, and but yeah, so we're kind of used to that. Concrete and pavement, it would be wonderful. But we try to even clean our equipment off. If people are in the home right now watching, we want them to see that we're rinsing hoses off and stuff and keeping them up, and wands, and we're putting them in, and we're wiping them off. We're trying to, I think that's right now helping with the confidence. Now, did we do that all the time? No. were my vans as clean back then as they are now? No, I've learned over time, and I do feel the value. There's, sometimes this is a learning process for all of us, and thankfully I've met some people that have taught me things too.
Yeah. How your techs? You got them pretty much uniforms, the whole works.
I mean, as far as our uniforms on us?
Yeah. In other words, your techs,
Yeah.
they're going out, so they're pretty much you're pretty
There
strict
is a
on that. I
uniform
take
on them, uniform coat, wearing coats yet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
T-shirt or some type of shirt, and we keep working on that. As a matter of fact, I've got a challenge out to the guys that I'd like to get some new shirts also, especially for the upcoming season. So they look good, they feel good. New shirts. My wife goes crazy because everything in the closet's got something of a logo on it, and it's either blue or black. If I want skinny black.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, same thing. My kids always ask me as they grew up. They said, "Dad, do you have any shirts that don't have like somebody's name on the pocket?" I go, "Well, they give them to me. I wear them. I mean, kind of like I don't have to go out and buy other clothes. So it does make a difference there." So let me ask you. So let's jump over to the marketing side here. And I have to tell the little story about the first time you were doing one of your presentations at the experience for Mikey, and you said, you just want to run the PowerPoint, by me, see what you thought and everything, or I thought. And so you sent it to me, and I said, "You have 255 slides." You go, "Yeah." I go, "You only have an hour." I said, you can't do that. I go, "Oh, yeah, I can. I timed it." And I go, no way. So anyhow, you did it. And I sat there right in the front row. I go, "I can't believe he did it." Right. So you have a certain, I shouldn't say you have just a passion for marketing. You have a passion for everything you do. But tell me, you got started in YouTube. One of the first things you did, how'd you get started in YouTube?
My son-in-law told me about it. My son-in-laws, they were learning everything. They said, "You can learn everything on YouTube." And one night I was using a piece of equipment at a restaurant, with my phone. They said, "You've already got a Google account. You've got a YouTube account."
Yeah.
And prior to this, I went, saw, okay, winterizing an RV. So I did that. I thought, oh, cool. Well, we're at this restaurant doing this job with this new tool. And I thought, hey, this is kind of fun. And I decided to upload it to YouTube, not knowing what I'm doing, just put it up there and whatever.
Yeah.
That's how I got started on YouTube. Then the next thing people would call me and say, "Hey, I've got this problem with a vehicle or something or equipment." I'd say, "Give me a minute. I'll go make a video quick and I'll upload it to YouTube, send you the link." I never knew. Other people watch that too.
Oh, yes.
But YouTube marketing, and then I learned how to hashtag things like Saiger Steam Clean or Saigers or carpet cleaning Grand Rapids, Minnesota, with a hashtag in front of it. And I had to figure that out. And now I've learned some more of those, and things keep changing. So I keep investigating. I will never know it all on that. I just use it as trying to be helpful for other cleaners. And for me, some of it's entertainment just for myself, even to go, "Hey, can I do this? I want to try, doing this," and learning Adobe Premiere Pro. And I'm like, it's a good thing for now with the, the shutdown.
Yeah.
That gave me 3 weeks to start learning Adobe Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Bonus.
Tell you what, the hashtags, that's kind of funny. I'm looking at Heather's up here on the line there, and her last name is Hash. But I saw her post on LinkedIn the other day, and she had more hashtags than there were space for the message. So there is an art to that also. How do you believe cleaners? Then I'm gonna ask you about some other social media. But how do somebody that's a carpet cleaner, how would you advise him to start into YouTube that's ultimately going to go to consumers?
Well, a couple things is we all kind of discuss in the industry. Some people maybe aren't going to be made for YouTube. Practice some videos prior to uploading them to YouTube and have somebody else look at them. The other thing is, if, like in my case, and we've talked about this, but I don't do a lot of videoing in people's homes, occupied homes, because just personal, and people up here, personal space. So I've had people say, "You do mainly commercial." I said, "No, I really do about 70 to 80% probably residential. You only see most of the commercial or empties." So that's just my personal belief. So in some places, the homeowners love you videotaping in their place. So you'd have to have that conversation. But I have seen where YouTube will help develop and build your business and get you referrals to your business. So us as well up here too. We'll link it to our Facebook page or something, and my wife will tell new clients, if you have more questions, you can go to my husband's YouTube page or Facebook page with links and investigate more about us. And people do, and that also has brought us business.
That's great. What about other social media? I mean, I call you the king of YouTube, but you are on Facebook probably more than you're on YouTube. So that's
I'm on Facebook quite a bit just to keep a presence. Locally, I just try to keep a positive presence and knowing there. You know, in the carpet cleaning industry, I just try to post here and there, and sometimes I don't even post anything dealing with carpet cleaning, which I think they appreciate that. So and then I'm also using Instagram a bit, but there's like six of me now, Mark Saiger accounts I hear this week again out there that we're trying to get eliminated down to just the M Saiger. But I use that on occasion too. I don't do anything on Twitter. I'm just not very skilled on Twitter.
It goes too fast. It's kind of like watching the chat box here on this as we're going through it. It's just too much that's going through there. So you're using, so you would say that if you're advising a cleaner today on marketing, right? Not necessarily just for this situation, but for general everyday cleaning, that you would probably start with Facebook. All right.
For us in our area, that's working best. Now, in the old days, I had to do other marketing and advertising. You know, I've even come back from the phone book advertising. We have a couple little things going in some real rural phone book, you know, limited access to time. But we spent a lot of money in the beginning on advertising, anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 and 25% of our budget sometimes just to start a business. So there was times we had to put it in print. We sometimes now with more digital marketing coming out, I didn't tap into anybody else outside to do my marketing. First of all, I never trust if they're going to do it right. They're going to get, you know, taking your money. I always like to meet with somebody who can, you know, meet even face to face with and do my developing. A web page. If you don't have a web page, do look for somebody to get you a web page, and they will SEO the interior of a web page. I found out too. It's like you put a picture up there, they're SEOing that picture. So it's not necessarily my skill set. So I do hire people.
Are you using Google My Business also for the thing?
Well, I think back. No, I do post on the Google page about not enough. But I do see the results of people who are coming and seeing us and whatever. I do need to update that this week again too.
That does seem to be something that's really moving forward there. So I looking here that it says there's some people that are just getting. I've got a question, so I'm gonna kind of turn it into the question that I originally had was for a cleaner that's just starting this year. Number one, that's a rough time, right? But the question I also got, it says recommendations for a new company getting back into the cleaning industry.
Sounds like me. Sounds like when I started seriously. When I did start up, I'd been out of it, you know, really full time for that length of time or more. In your area, something different. Might be tile and grout, might be upholstery. But you know, and if you can become like that little boutique service, they're going to call you because they've heard about your name. You maybe don't have to advertise as much, because I found people advertised for me when I'm doing a good job. In my case, a lot of it came down to they wanted to see the band director out sweating after hours, you know, in their house, you know. But no, there's times that we got started by just I had to work both jobs and I had to develop it. And then you get to a confidence level. Is this the time I start breaking away? So my advertising back then, some of the same stuff. I was still spending my money because my other job allowed me to. I don't know if that's the same going to happen for this person. But you're going to have to set some budgets and try to figure out what you can afford. And you're going to also make mistakes like I did. You're going to find something you invested your money in is a complete flop. And I always say education isn't free. It's going to cost you money somehow or another. Unfortunately, it just, you learn from that and you'll move on. You just do. But carpet cleaning for us was the huge part to get us going where we could make the money quicker. The other thing, this is me. This is what you're going to get, and here's my price.
Well, it's a whole lot easier to establish it. We always know it's easier to go down than it is to go up, right?
Well, and I was doing less jobs for the money.
And newsletter mailing. So I'm going to put those all together in there. So are you using any? I mean, when we talked about social media, we talked about Facebook. The sister, of course, to Facebook is Instagram.
Yes.
What's your feelings there?
Instagram makes me mad this week with how many personalities I have reported. But I've seen and heard from people that it's good. Now, one of the things that I did when I went on Instagram, I did it under my name, just Mark Saiger.
Yeah.
It's not as easy to post videos to like IGTV, which is Instagram TV, which I'm also using. But if you do it from a business page, you can do it a lot easier. So I'm honestly at this point going to start a Saigers steam clean business page.
Okay.
Which I feel is going to be easier, post well, and we'll do some work from that. I'll probably set up a Sager sauce Instagram webpage too. But at some point, you're going to be seeing too much Sager is the way it is. So even without the other profiles.
Yep.
So Instagram. What was the other part, Bill?
Well, newsletters, right?
Yeah.
And email blast.
Right. We ourselves haven't done email blasts.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel that people in my area don't like that.
Yeah.
But I do enjoy the JonDon email blasts. So that is it just depends on the people. You would have to make sure you kind of know your clientele.
Oh, yeah.
Here, if we're lucky to get their email address sometimes, you're going to keep emailing me? No, we just want to send you the invoice,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's been a tough one. And the other part on the marketing, we haven't sent out postcards either. Now, again, you got to realize I'm in a different market, but I'm also in a different stage of our business.
Yes.
Our vans flying around everywhere and, with the wraps on in our area because of the size of the community has helped us. At least have good graphics. Email blasts might work better for some people in New York City. They're going to have that attitude. They're ready for that. Here in northern Minnesota, no, don't do it.
Yeah, you are in a little different climate there.
We are.
Plus, I think those blue vans must stand out so nicely in those snowbanks.
They
Great
do.
backdrop, to that stuff there.
Yeah.
It always amazes me when I see you posting and it's 25 below zero and your guys are out working.
You notice though, I'm posting those from Florida and they're up here doing that now. Yeah.
I know. Okay, so my follow-up question that was kind of going back to the new cleaners starting up here, but this is a much tougher one, right? So we have people that have been up until this point have been what we would consider to be successful. They have maybe 2, 3, 4 trucks, right?
Yeah.
And when things are going good, it's easy, everything. Sales covers up all problems until sales slow down, then all those problems become very evident. And we will find that some of our better companies out there may just be a mortal wound, right? And many of them will have to sell a couple trucks or worse, just go out of business. What would you recommend to a guy? He calls you up and says, Mark, I never thought this would happen to me. We're doing so well. What would you say to that person?
I so feel for you because I've had those same feelings. I've had the same thing going on. And by total luck, my wife isn't even here. She just ran out with the puppies, but she won't even hear this unless she hears it. But by blessing, she's also called me down or whatever, or she's come up with the game plan. She's great at financing. So if you can have somebody in your team that's great at financing or calming you down, in my case, that helped. Then I had a game plan. We had a game plan. Would we sell a van? We had a game plan for that. Would we sell one of our personal vehicles? We had a game plan for that. So we started making plans. We did not plan this emergency plan. We have plans, even if they're unspoken in our mind, that we discussed.
Yeah.
If you can make it through this right now, people, you're going to make it. I mean, you really can. There, creditors and people you owe money to, they might help you at this time too.
Yeah.
We are taking a position. We don't want to do that or extend any of our debt because we've had a mission to try to pay off. Are we going to make it? Our idea is we're going to use the money now to try.
Yeah.
That's our game plan. I don't know if there's an exact one answer for this, but I think you do need to start writing things down. What if I have to? And then can I really sell that? Who will buy it? If I can get out of it, I'll get out of it. That's been our thought.
And I think it really comes back to this, stripping it back down to the basics. In other words, if let's say that you had 3 vans and you have to get rid of 2 of them, right? But you have to get rid of some of the employees and you have to go back out on the truck yourself. You got to kind of rebuild from the position of strength, whatever that may be at that point in time. And I think that's probably the key thing. It's just a tough one, but I know there's going to be a lot of people going through that. One of the things that I think you and I talked the other day is that there's always a silver lining in every cloud. And that is, And what's going to happen right now are some employees are going to get laid off and don't have a place to go back to. Some of those employees were good, and it wasn't their fault they got laid off. So the companies that are strong and are looking for employees, this will be the first time in the last 5 or 6 years that there are actually good people out there that you would want working for your company. So
Yeah,
I think that's one of the better things there. So
there will be a good employee pool.
exactly. So I'm bouncing on you again, Mark. I'm back to marketing again because I can't help it either. I like that stuff, right? So, some of the things that I always liked, and when I'm teaching a marketing class, I've used several of your things that you use. I love the fact, of course, I'm always big about that marketing's got to be emotional. You got to have cute babies and the puppy dogs and all that. You got all that stuff, right? You got the dogs. You got the kids driving their little Jeeps. Tell me how the parades, is that just good in small towns?
No, I really think, so, up here in the Midwest, we'll drive through with our tractors and whatever. And, oh, look at that old 1942, combine, whatever. So we're going through other parades. One time, clean up the vans, go through, maybe have somebody, tossing candy out, walking along. And one time I'm sitting there looking at my wife and said, this is kind of boring for people. And there's limited music availability sometimes. So I looked and we saw this yard that they were using bubble machines in the yard for the kids to play. And I went, oh, look at that. So I went out, of course, Saiger style, and bought 32 bubble machines for my next parade. Mounted them to all my places, thought I was going to get kicked out of the parade after I turned them all on. By the way, don't turn them all on sporadically through the parade because you got to fill them up and you got to have enough for it. But learn. And then I took and I mounted speakers on the back because I thought, man, we got to have some music too. A musician guy. So I'm playing, oh my gosh, Tiny Bubbles, or Don't Step on My Blue Suede Shoes, or Split Splash. I was taking a bath, and people are jamming and coming out to pop bubbles. The little Jeep I had a Saigers Jeep built for fun, and I have this little ride-on Jeep. So at the home shows, for a $200 ride-on Jeep, I had people would show up with kids and sign up for this Jeep, and we do a drawing, the giveaway. And then, of course, the paper thought it was cute, and we'll put them in the front page of the paper next to Mark's Jeep, and they're identical. And my grandkids started driving one and promoting it. Kids, puppies, pets, community functions, having fun. Our people love that. Unfortunately, we've been so busy, I haven't been able to do the parades in the last couple of years, but at some point we come back and we know it would be a big hit if we come back in the parade.
Oh yeah, I think you should, just because sometimes you got to go back to those basics, and not get away from them. I see Dave Howard posted something I think excellent here, where he's talking about you should call your past customers. Don't wait for them to call you. Right? In other words, this is a tough time. We are going to pull out all the stops, but I think even for the people that haven't really gotten back in, I know here in Indianapolis, I just saw today that we're going to stay in place till May 15th now. So you may not be able to go out right now, but you should be contacting your customers, and not like you're just calling them because you haven't talked to them in 10 years. You should be calling the ones, of course, that are regular customers, not necessarily to get business. Just the fact you're just calling up, checking to see how
check in on them,
and letting them know that you're still out there working if they should need you, right? And if they say no, we're pretty good, say, well, it's all right if I check within a couple of weeks. Sure. If you develop these relationships over the years, which is really what business is about, then you should be fine, right? So,
we're even doing takeout from some of the restaurants intentionally that we've also cleaned too. And by doing that, they've just got us in mind, and they're going to have it done as soon as they can. We understand they might have to make some money first.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the tough one here. All right.
Okay.
So a lot of people look at Mark, especially newer people in the industry. They look and they see you all over the internet. They see you here, there, and everywhere. You got your own chemical line. You got all this cool stuff going on, right? So tell me some of your screw ups. I know because I know all the ones I did.
My wife was going to come take this section right now, and she left. Oh man, there's been many. I mean, again, I go back to it costs you money. You're going to learn. Some advertising things. I thought, oh, that'd be really cool. Yeah, let's do it. It's just, because you probably have the passion because you saw your name on it, and you're probably one of the only ones that saw it. So, hey, that was really cool. So, that's probably one of them. Sometimes, you get talked into maybe a piece of equipment that doesn't work for you. But I do want to say I do recover most of my money. I used it and I found out for myself. Now, a lot of times, though, we're lucky we can go and try some equipment at some of these conventions and stuff, so people don't have to go through that. But would that stop me? Oh, heck no, I'd still buy it because I got to have it first, you know.
You are a tool junkie.
Oh gosh, yeah, I love it. I mean, it comes back from my racing, and nothing is run stock. You know, you always got to experiment. I can make that better. No, I can't. That's another mistake. I can't always make it better. So I got to buy a second one. That is a true story too, because then I have to buy another one. So yeah, you know.
How about marketing mistakes?
Yeah, you know, basically taking out some ads and stuff that totally flopped, didn't work. And then by luck, I've taken out a couple that really worked. So it's an experiment. Total mistakes. Oh my goodness. Where's the book we start with? You know, or some point you say something or you post something and one word didn't make it come off the way you intended, you know, in print, and you go, I'm so sorry, let's delete that. Or I've been lucky on that, but no, and you feel bad. I feel bad if something like is misspoken or misrepresented, and that's happened.
I saw DeBerry Cost about this yesterday, and he started laughing and telling me some of his. He was drilling a floor and drilling down into the concrete to put his tack strip down. He said drilled right through like a oil line, right? Yeah, that was attached to a 500-gallon tank. So then he always would have the ones where you're using your power stretcher against the wall and the wall behind you starts to move. I said, you know, so he really wanted me to do one of these where we just talked to all the instructors and got all their screw-ups, but that may take a little too long there. So, so I'm going to take you out the pressure here and move you on to something I think that you.
I think one that I forgot, though, is being talked into a job I knew I shouldn't have taken, but I took it anyway. And in the end, it cost.
Oh, boy. Isn't that always the truth?
Yeah. Yeah.
The one where you have that gut feel. The one where it's a cat basement, right? And you try, the lady says, oh, I can't afford that, so just clean it. And you try to tell them, well, when I clean it, it's going to smell worse. Oh, you go ahead. And then you clean it, and she comes down and says, it smells worse.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not paying you for that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty common one, right?
Right. Trust your gut.
Yep.
Sorry.
All right. So here's the thing, and I know this has been a big thing this year. Right? Is you've been involved in all of the Ronald McDonald charity cleans, so most of them throughout the country. You know, and what got you into it, and what have you gotten out of it yourself personally? Because I know you live in Minnesota. When you go to St. Petersburg, Florida, to clean one of these, you're not going to make any money from that, right?
No. I come from, I'm lucky, I come from a background of my family bringing, you know, helping charitable causes, helping being, you know, we're all trying to be good people then. Yeah. And I've been lucky, I got networked with some people that organized these, and I was as a participant. And so now I'm, in a small way, I can help out here and there, even organizing, but I'm terrible at helping organize because of my location. But Ronald McDonald House, I want to say about 6 years ago, brought up, and it was through Mikey's Fest. That we started cleaning, and we talk about it. How can we make it better and allow cleaners to come in and learn and use equipment and chemistry on these sites? And then many people have gotten into it. The charitable cause is amazing. Like I think I showed you this the other day, and a number of us just got this from Nashville. And with their cleaning, it says pretty much in here with what's happened in the COVID-19.
Yeah. So you've done one in Minneapolis. You've done a couple in Phoenix. You've done a couple in Vegas.
We'll see how it goes. But, you know, it takes the organizing, planning, and then making sure we do the proper things for them too. And so people, you know, we go through it and make sure and double check all of our work. But there's not one cleaner that comes to this event, though, that wants to do a bad job. To see the volunteers, what they do, man, it's just heart-wrenching, you know, to see everybody involved. But then you see these small children going through all this. And I've had carpet cleaners reach out to me, grandchildren involved situations like this, and I'm telling you, when I see it, anything I can do, I'm going to do. Yeah,
I was there with you in the St. Petersburg one, and watching that one little kid that walked by and had the zipper across his head, and you just sit there and you think, I'm so fortunate, you know. But I'm still kind of mad at Mikey. I'm not sure why I was given the job of dry foaming about 20 velvet chairs. I mean, I thought I had some other skills, you know, but They wouldn't let me with any of the big tools.
I think I got a chance to block you though to get you out of there eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah. I think they promised me more Guinness afterwards. So
That's right.
So how would anybody that wants to get involved with that? Where would you send them?
Yeah, first of all, with the Mikey's and the Mikey's Fest events, and there's a website out there, and you can go take a look or contact me. I'll get you involved with it. But it's essentially it's a small fee to go there to help cover some of the expenses. Otherwise, the people do it. It's a really great place to go. Come in and get involved. And then also the next part of it is we hope other cleaners will go out and do this in their areas too. Yeah. I saw Colorado just did it again. They've been doing it for a number of years.
Yes, they have. Yeah.
So yes, get involved. Just even ask, can I come help? And at some point, we have other people who've never attended the fest and still taken the avenue and gone and cleaned Ronald McDonald houses in Tennessee with 2 or 3 other cleaners. Just this year in Minneapolis, we did a smaller one where it was me and Minnesota and Wisconsin cleaners. We had a blast. We're networking, and you would think, oh, my competition. It's amazing what you learn about your competition. They're human beings too.
Oh, the best example of that is down St. Petersburg. When I'm teaching a carpet class and I mention Stanley Steamer, you can almost hear the hissing in the room, right? Oh, they're so terrible, all this stuff. And yet the guy down there, that of course he's a 3rd generation Stanley family, I think one of the originals, grandfather. He brought in I don't know how many trucks and how many people, and was the most humble guy. And he owns I don't know how many franchises, but it was nice to see. What was kind of interesting too is how he kept looking at all the cool tools that all the independent cleaners had. They kind of go, where do I get one of those?
And he did. And even I'll be honest, even the other word, zero res. I know of a young man in Minneapolis who runs the commercial side, is an amazing cleaner. Oh yeah, an amazing person. And I'm telling you, I have a lot of respect for what he does as well, and brought in some crew. And this guy's in his young 20s and runs a crew like he's in his upper 30s. So it's human beings being human and helping.
And I think that's the cool thing is that just like what you said is when you're working with one of your competitors and not just seeing them on the road, you realize you're both in the same business, right? And you have more in common than you do with some of your friends.
Yes.
And I think when you work side by side with it, you think, wow, this is pretty cool. He's going to learn something from me. I'm going to learn something from him. So, I mean, that's awesome.
And your wife only wants to talk carpet cleaning so long. So now you've got somebody you can share with.
Yes, I have found that out over the last 45 years, right? So, okay, so let's jump into that sign behind you, right? Saiger sauce. I think, as you well know, many cleaners in this industry are frustrated chemists, right? And they know that if I mix a little of this with a little of that, and put these two together, I've got something nobody else has. Yeah, it's called an illegal substance. There's no safety data sheet, those kind of things. So tell me, how did you get into that business? I mean, you're busy enough with all the other things you're doing.
Yeah, no, thank you. Our family, made these machines, carpet cleaning machines, many years ago. So at that point, there wasn't really a lot of chemistry around for cleaning. So we found some other chemists that would make us stuff. So we never thought about it as young, but as things started changing in the 80s and stuff in the chemistry, we took more of a passion, and myself, my brothers, the whole industry, we started talking. I remember my dad talking about taking Ralph Bloss's class one time and an impression he made. So there was more of a heightened awareness of newer chemistry. And then down the road, we met Hassan Hashrudi, our chemist at Harvard Chemical, now owned by Simonize. And we had a relationship where we were looking for certain things just for our family, to do certain things and clean certain ways. So it was always just a joke, like, hey, you got the sauce today, whatever you doing this, And so who the heck would have thought naming a pre-spray Saiger sauce, or sauce even? So, but so we started having it created. But I remember when I wanted the newer pre-spray different, I walked in, I said, Hassan, I want something completely different. And then, and it took a while. It took time, and it was and never thought we were going to sell it ever. We started giving away some free samples. JonDon gives away free samples now. We didn't think anything about that. I was just being self-centered, just going to have it for ourselves. And then you start giving away, and the people, hey, well, I like that. Can we get some? Yeah, okay, we'll figure out, we'll sell it. And then, the next thing expands, and then JonDon approaches us, and I'm like, Sure. Okay, sounds great. My name's going to be on the shelf. Awesome. And this guy from Midwest. Not everybody has this opportunity, by the way. I mean, I was lucky. I had chemists that we networked with that were willing to, work with us and listen to our ideas. You maybe have ideas too. That doesn't mean the chemists hear this all the time.
Yeah.
I was lucky they humored me and they did listen.
Yeah.
So
let me ask you this one. And this can be either, I don't know, there's a good choice in either one of these, but either it's going to be you're cocky, all right?
Yep.
Or you're just not aware. But, I don't know if you ever walked into a JonDon, but we do have other products, right? With some pretty well-named, long-term companies have been making this stuff for 40-some years.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you think you could compete with them?
Am I on fire right now?
Yeah.
Honestly, so there's maybe the not aware part. I never thought about it. One company, and I'll use their term, and I would give them credit for it. They kind of call me a boutique.
Well, that means you get to charge more money.
Well, no, I didn't think about that. Again, everything I've done was more on a family line of what I could do, and I'd help myself when we were helping others slightly. Never had any thought that this would take off more than it did. So we've been blessed, and I thank you again as a JonDon. I mean, because we're in your store. I mean, and we do have other people always asking us if they can carry it now, which who would have never thought of that? And you'll get it exclusively at JonDon's right now, people, and we're blessed with this too. I'm blessed with every day somebody even asking for the products. Today, before this interview, I had a number of carpet cleaners calling me and wishing us well and telling them how much something that we presented in a video or something, even just a tip, has helped them, and they're using our products now and they enjoy it. That to me is an awesome experience.
So when you started to make this product different, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We know that both of us grew up in the days of products that they worked really well, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they were kind of dangerous, like our solvents that always came in metal cans, right? Good old rusticator, which would, of course, desensitize the nerve endings and start to eat the bone marrow and that. So, and yet we still hear people that want the highest pH, the most aggressiveness, products that have nuclear somewhere in the description. You've kind of gone a little bit different direction.
I was influenced, again, probably by Mikey P a little bit, but also our son-in-law. He's got cancer rampant in his family, and his mom is even, dealing with a battle of cancer, blood cancer. So with that in mind, I'm looking for future generations of my family. I became more aware of trying to remove the butyls, solvents, NTAs, things like that maybe had been in some chemistry, and still make it clean, because cleaning is the ultimate goal. It took time, and we're still refining it. The new product we just came out, 10 Below, is a new refinement that started 3 years ago. So we were looking at what is it that I can do something creative and still clean. And now, like our Code Red, that was a response to internet backlash or whatever. I walked into Harvard. I said, all right, let's make the most. I can make the most nasty one out there. Put all this, and that, and let's go. And I was going to call it nuclear, atomic, or whatever, something. And they talked me out of it. They looked at me and said, Mark, if we go that direction again, we're relying on old chemistry. We'll never keep moving ahead on new chemistry. So that's when I said, well, let's go into the lab and let's make Saiger sauce 1 with an oxy and an enzyme and blah, blah, blah. My chemist goes,
You're every carpet cleaner's dream, right? To be able to just walk in and kind of I want some of that. I want some of that. A little of this. That's kind of like
store.
Okay, so let's talk about this. And I saw somebody even mention this before I got to it, but they said, what about the next 5 years? What do you see the changes, not only in chemistry, but also let's go into changes within the equipment? I think the other day I asked you, do you think truck mounts will ever go away? And I saw that little tear start to come down your eye. So I won't ask you that one again. Okay. What do you think about what's going to go on the next couple of years? Because we know it's sure changed from when we started.
I still think because there's the human nature to search for what can be better, or what we dealt with, what we can make better. So let's hope there's not a truck mount going away, or otherwise I'll be refurbishing mine for the next 20 years while I'm still around it. Bless you guys doing portables. I'm not saying it, but I'm just saying, thankfully I don't have to, because I'm so conditioned with what I have. But I think there's that human nature. What can I do to make it better?
Yep.
And then when I break it, I'll go get another one and try it again. So I really think that'll happen. Chemistry-wise, there's new chemistry coming. People discover there's some of the things that are here are getting to be amazing because that human nature to search, the desire from ourselves personally, and also what we hear from people out in the field looking. And you give us ideas sometimes to go, hey, that's not a bad idea. Wonder what we have. We maybe can't do it now, but 3, 4, 5 years, that's in the back of my mind to go, this happened. I'm looking at some of the equipment we're doing right now and the changes in wands. And I thought one point, there's nothing more that can be done. Then boom, they pop up.
That's always the thing you hear, the things where they said, like, what was it? The guy that started IBM, they said, they'll never need more than one of these, right? So I mean, a lot of strange things. So I was talking to Jim Manis this morning, Jim from Shaw Industries, and of course he's going to be on the program in 2 weeks, right? So we were talking about the things he's going to talk about. And what are you seeing up in your area? Which I'm not saying your area is slow or anything. I just want you to know
we're a little behind.
Okay. But I mean, you're not the coast like I'm in Indiana and I'm way ahead of things, right? But I mean, he's telling me now that the average home, probably 30, maybe 35% of the home is actually soft surfaces, carpet, right? So are you seeing a lot of changeover, especially to the LVP in your area? And what are you doing how are you taking care of that product?
LVP and LVT is still going to wear out.
Vinyl.
Yep, it's still going to scratch. And at some point, people are going to move back to another surface or another good, even if it's ceramic, tile and grout, we're cleaning that. And we're also cleaning LVP, LVT, the luxury vinyl plank. And there are some new developments coming out for hard surface wands and stuff. I hear that stuff needs to be cleaned. I just did in my video here this last week, we were doing at a store that sells these flooring goods. We discovered on one of them, we couldn't get the greasy soils off this linoleum. We had to go crazy pH and CRB. And when I looked at her, I said, you probably don't want to sell that. Unless if you do, give them my number. I figured out how to clean it now. And they're really good about it, this store, because they're watching and they want to sell floorings that are going to work for their homeowners. They also pass that on to the industry. Maybe the industry will learn and listen. But soft goods, we still have them in northern Minnesota. I still think it's still going to come around. They're going to be there. So if I'm only doing the bedroom walk areas, my rate's going to be up there. I mean, we just have to raise our rates to accommodate personally, but also those other flooring surfaces you got there. Oh yeah, we're cleaning them. I'll learn to clean them.
And I think that's what you have to do. If you think of yourself as just a carpet cleaner, you're not going to be in business, regardless of the virus or no virus. You've got to be a service provider, right? Whatever they got on that floor, we should be able to clean it. So I think that's it. So tell me you still don't have the avocado shag up there in Minnesota, right?
We do at times. And sometimes in the bathrooms yet.
Oh, no.
Yes.
I didn't even want to hear that part. Right?
I know.
Okay, so let me ask you now. So this business has been good to you and your family ever since Uncle Merle started back there in the Dakotas, for the 2 houses in the Dakotas that actually had carpet at that point in time. So do you ever see passing this business on to your children?
We're doing that right now.
Oh, you are doing that?
Yes, we're working with our son-in-law, Aaron, who you'll see on most of my videos, and our daughter, Jenna Lee. Yep, we call her the General Lee. So
is she the little one?
Yes.
For a person my size.
Major attitude? Yeah, that's one.
Oh, I met her down in Florida many years ago.
Oh, yeah. And so she's really good at telling everybody what to do. That's perfect. We need that in this industry. And she's good at answering the phones. She can smooth talk. We are moving it to it. And to do that, we have an accounting firm now that's helping us. So we thought it was going to cost us money to have that kind of firm. And actually, we found out it's saving us money in the end. You have to analyze that. But no, we are working to pass this business on with their assistance. And at some point, they're basically going to just take it over. The business is only worth what you can get to find somebody to buy it or sell it. My brother Dave did sell his business last year. Started out high, got it in, he found a buyer, he sold. with luck, my brother Kirk is looking to sell also down the road here. We're all at that age now, at about 55.
I'd love to be 55.
Yeah, I know. That's perspective, definitely. But yeah, and it's sometimes businesses will just die off. The people will close up shop, maybe sell off what they have remaining. But we were lucky. Not everybody's this lucky that you'll have somebody who wants to take over. But I have seen also where some people have had that awesome employee, and later in the life they decide, we're not going to do much more of this. Let's make you a deal. If you're going to retire, start setting some money aside. Even with the terrible stock market that happened here, we're debating what to do more, but we do have retirement. We're downsizing things already, making plans, paying things off, so we can have a good retirement life. But does that mean I'll totally retire? I wouldn't know what to do.
I don't see. I don't see you doing that.
Yeah,
you'll be inventing things to or you'll be on the senior citizen circuit on jet skis out in the bay there. So
that's right.
I don't see you on the shuffleboard courts in Dunedin, right?
Oh, I'm pretty good at that though.
All right. So tell me, let's wrap this up. Tell me your thoughts for, what message do you want to leave the industry, especially at this point in time where we're kind of all in a somewhat of a panic. Although we've gotten a lot of positive messages here today that business is starting back up.
Yes. Again, I've been saying that if you can make it through this, you're going to make it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that you're not going to feel beat up and punched out at days and you're going to come back. If you can get back up and go back in the ring, do it. There's going to be there's going to be good things that come out of this yet. There's good things for our industry. Us being responsible cleaners and better cleaners cleaning our equipment is going to make us look better and get us more jobs. So there is something that's setting the bar higher. And we've heard people talking about this. I'm encouraged. I mean, a couple of days ago, I was mad again. And then I go, it's out of my control.
Yes,
and I think I read that to you, Bill. And if I can find it here really quick, just something that flashed across my feed today, and I did a screenshot on it. Fear does not stop death. It stops life. And worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at, I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to stay active. I'm going to still contribute. I'm still going to help people. I'm still going to continue to do things that are going to just help bring some calm, if I can do that. But yet at the same time, I just want to be super supportive of everyone I can be and understanding. So that's going to be my goal. That's our goal here at Saigers.
I'd say that's a pretty good goal. I think it's kind of like we both have jobs where we get to help people. I get to work for a very large company that helps a lot of people throughout the country. JonDon, especially at this point in time, we're one of the companies that are considered essential because we're providing all these products, to go out there and help. And I think that just makes us all feel good, So I certainly appreciate you coming in. Kind of want to let you know also, and to the people here, I know that, we've been, for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've been talking disinfect, foggers, the whole bit. And yet our message throughout this whole thing has been basically that cleaning. And what was that? How'd you say it again? Clean is clean.
Clean and clean will help prevent disease.
Yeah, and so I think that's why we focus a little bit more on that this time. We didn't really get into should you fog, should you not fog, because we've been hammering on that. But I think if we still get back to the idea, we all started out as cleaners, right? And that's what we got to continue to do. If we are doing this properly, and we continue to get the questions about, well, what chemicals should I use? Well, the first one you're going to use, whether you're just doing a desk or you're doing the carpet or a hard surface floor, it's all going to be, you're going to clean it first. A simple surfactant or whatever else you're using, which is the common ingredient in all of our products. Go back to that. Don't get fancy. If you are going to get into something, we get the questions about, if I find a customer that did have somebody that tested positive in their home, how should I go into it? Well, if you have to ask that question, you haven't had the training, probably you shouldn't go into it, right? Bob Murph last week, when he was talking about cleaning buildings, and I said, what would you do in this situation? He says, I've already contacted one of my competitors who is well trained in that, knows all the PPE, has all the different certifications, which means that at the minimum, you need probably WRT from the IICRC. You probably need mold. And then you start into the OSHA, the GBAC, all the different certifications. You can't get enough of them, right? And so if you know, and we all believe that this is going to happen again, maybe even so this fall, right? Start training right now. Continue to clean, but continue to look at what's down the road and get prepared for it. Hopefully, we won't ever have to worry about it, all right? So before I send you off, though, I do want to tell you what we're going to be doing over the next couple of weeks, because it's very exciting. Next week, Doyle Bloss is going to be down here. He's going to be on here next week, and we're going to talk. And we're going to try to we'll probably go back a little bit more into the whole disinfecting side, because we continue to get questions about that. But we're also, Doyle loves marketing just like Mark does, and we're always interested in marketing, whether it's marketing because of this situation or marketing just for general cleaning. All right. The week after that, we'll have Sean Bission. Everybody loves Sean. You know, Sean is Mr. Enthusiasm, so he's going to be talking in 2 weeks. After that, we're going to have Jim Manis from Shaw Industries. And for those of you that are on here, if you would like to ask particular questions, you want to send them ahead of time. I talked with Jim this morning. He'd love to hear what you want to know from a manufacturer within this industry. And please limit the amount of questions that say, why are you making polyester? Right? Polyester is a dominant fiber right now, whether you like it or not, it is. Let's ask other questions. What would you like to know about the manufacturing side of the business? Jim has spent 20 years before he ever got over to Shaw. He spent his whole life growing up. His father was a carpet cleaner, right? So he's got a lot of knowledge on that side of the business. After that, just the newest one and big surprise, and I think a lot of people are going to be excited about this one. We've got Jim Pemberton. I haven't told anybody about that because I just want to announce it at this point. I think most of you know who Jim Pemberton is. Probably one of the people in this industry that's got the highest trust factor, I think, of almost anybody I talk to. Jim is just the kind of person that we can ask him almost anything, and he's going to give us a straight shot. So we've got some really good ones coming up here. Once again, we appreciate all of you coming. I especially appreciate Mark. I mean, I know he's just sitting here, and he wants to race away because he really wants to get out there and clean some more carpet. The band's unstoppable.
with cat urine.
So yeah. So thank you very much, and we'll see you all next Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time with Doyle Bloss. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark, you can stay on. I'm going to turn this off, right?
Okay.